Hey everyone. I just wanted to say that I've had struggles in my own personal life where I just don't think that I would have had these same struggles if it wasn't for the organized crime that was happening to me. Because when you're unwittingly being poisoned up in this fashion, or in any fashion, it can bleed into you becoming and doing things that wouldn't necessarily be able to purport back to yourself that those actions or those things would have been you. You know what I mean? And so forgive me while I smoke a cigarette here. I'm struggling very hard with not only what's happened to me in my life in general, but it's just the fact that I don't think that people would have been able to see for themselves or even hear to reason with themselves that I had a reason to come out here to speak out, but I do. So also forgive me when I look away and look at my notes here because I just want you guys to know of what I've been faced up with and just how hard it's been. Being that you get wiped up all out of your state of mind for your own self, and that's exactly what these people want so they can push you around, change your character, write your character however they want and fit it into their narratives. You see, so this type of crime doesn't happen all over the place. So I can see why people would assume that it is something else other than what it actually is. But it's just unreal, and the dark forces that they work within in this fashion just make you so low in your spirit, and their actions itself themselves are just very low. So it was being uniquely crafted, specifically tailored to me, to get these people to be able to save their own face from a cold and calculated murder. And that's exactly what it was to do. And it's hard because not only am I being forced into a situation, but then going to get help with the very health concerns that are brand new. And not completely brand new, but brand new to me to be able to see them, to reason through them, and reason through them to see exactly where it was coming from. Because I know my stamina, much like I've said before. So that I'm coming out here, it's as though to these people that I'm reaching beyond the grave, and so they just couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle me like running away from proxy made relationships, or they couldn't handle me trying to grow into my own self outside of being poisoned, because they never wanted me to be able to see to reason with what was just happening to me or what's going on in my life currently or with what's being staged in front of me. But further than that, they didn't want me to be able to reason to see all the way back to when I was just a little boy, just a tiny little tyke. So they were trying to staff up the whole event, basically. So not only could they steal my life away from me, but they were gonna be stealing my whole identity on top of it. Like, not only identity erasure, but making me through AI and through cutting up my work and stealing away my accounts as though I didn't have any energy that I poured into my own phones, my Wi Fi, my internet connection, my jobs, my relationships, as though anything within that was real. You see what I mean? And so, it's hardcore in that way because we all want to love life. We all want to be able to be original in ourselves with how we take ourselves out into the real world around us. Not just within our jobs, but our relationships. Alright, sorry, I'm back. I had to run away a second. I heard something in that other room and I ignored it, and then I was like, I heard it again. I'm like, I better go out there and look, but I didn't see anything going on. So, anyway, where was I at here? We basically don't want a love life that was not only stealing our reason to be able to see clear through it being faked, but they didn't want me to be able to take out that love value for my own self, to be able to not only love myself, but take that love to give to other people. You see what I mean? Or to have an organic go at an origination of my actual love life. And so it hurts because I think it hurts beyond what people can imagine, just emotionally alone. But then on top of it, they were also poisoning me up. So it's like a heartache times physical heartache, emotional heartache times spiritual heartache, but the very physical heartbeats themselves. And so what hurts worse than that is when you're going in for help and there's not one single place that's actually suggesting to even look at your physical body. They're just they they look at you as if you don't exist, into what you're actually saying is true, and they're just looking at you as if it's all mental health, it's all in your head. And I'm not just overthinking these things. It's legitimately for many years that I've been planning on coming online or speaking out somehow to get it out to the public because I should be allowed to a free press. In certain situations, I've written literally every single news outlet and just hoping that not only news outlets but journalists and uh, not even just mainstream journalists, but other journalists from other news networks of their own creation, and just firing emails 2 3 times a week, like something, anything has to stick. You throw enough sticky stuff at a wall, some of it might fall, but something's got to stick, right? At least that's what I was thinking. Like, but it takes away my own organic values from being able to be loved and be able to smile in my own original joy and love that I would have been able to share with other people, because it wipes away your origination of self, so it's character assassination in its finest. But then it takes away the love that you can feel for your own self. It takes the origination away from that new type of joy that you can feel within a relationship. You are otherwise not even knowing at the times, but you're literally stepped back. And then it in the last relationship, but I believe it was by proxy anyway, it was signaling to her that I didn't and wasn't able to take out my origination of self, and so she was curious about why I was the way I was in many avenues of who I would who I would be, but none of that was truly me. That was legitimately the me that had been being unwittingly poisoned up for so long that couldn't see the reason or reason to see that side of it, but just reiterating the fact to other people, like, I don't know why I am that way. It's just that way. I don't know how to explain that, but I was ultimately hoping that I could get other people to help me to see these things. But no one cares. It's really daunting to me, because if someone was coming to me in that way, I would want to care about them to see what could I do for them, how could I help them figure out their next steps as far as being able to dig themselves out of that pain and out of that way, because it's like it's like drinking alcohol. It's like literally pouring gasoline all over your anxiety and lighting it on fire. Not the smartest move, in other words. But when a person's fighting addiction already, and they're fighting, love life troubles and things like that, I guess that's a big long conversation about a suicidality that can be created inside of a person to just allow for such horse shit things to happen, to where it allows a person to think that way. But that's not the origination of that person's sound mind, and that's definitely not the origination of Jesus Christ to be lived in us and given the authority by Jesus Christ. If you even believe in Jesus Christ, I don't know, but personally I do. So when you don't have help out here in the medical field as well, and then you go in and they're only gaslighting you further, it's to make it easier to suggest that you're the only one at fault, you that you deserved it somehow, or that it's something you did, when that's like telling me that Jesus Christ somehow deserved to be hung on that cross. No, just because it was the thing that happened, that was to be able to have a story lived this long by the Lord. It wasn't. I just can't side with that love's value at all. Like the world's value of love, like that Hallmark love, or I don't know how you want to say it, but it's a worldly way of loving, and that's not love. It's allowing their own. It's allowing them to, like, you remember those shoes that had the pump ball on them. It's allowing them to suggest that I'm gonna jump higher than you, and I'm gonna pump up this ball, and this is my love's value on my feet, but I'm gonna still hate you. I'm going to still despise you or be envious of you. I'm gonna still take out all of my rage on you. They don't have love. They don't have the love of Jesus Christ. So anyway, I start to feel pretty awful in the middle of the day. Like my chest hurts. It's not just emotional pain. It's very physically my heart struggling. I go into AFib and all of that kind of stuff, or have shortness of breath and things like that from the arsenic, is what I believe it was, and from whatever else that they did to me. But it's clearly wrong on so many levels if I'm unable to get people out here to suggest that there's more to see here than meets the eye. Because if I was just to die that day, all these people would have saved face, and then there was many other times where I wasn't even able to see the reason and reason to see that me going to the ground at those times was to kill me, was to take my life. So, for the example, I'll just put it out here that one of these men that moved and jumped state and went into a whole other state while his family is suffering in this way. He really wanted me to die and not even be able to make it into this house. So that I did. It was basically, what more can they do to harm me? And so that's why the proxy relationship was by design. It wasn't an organic relationship by any stretch of the imagination. And the only parts that were organic was her trying to create a perfect person out of two people or more, maybe even. I mean, it's just slutty. It's just grimy. It's just really smarmy. So, though none of us are perfect if we're going to indulge in premarital sex, it's just that there's a morality standard there on different levels, I guess, because my intention was to take away that fact. I wanted someone to be strong enough for me to be able to get on bent knee and ask her to marry me. And so if I can't get to that point and it's done by design, well, not only is it stealing away my availability of finding an organic relationship in that fashion, but it's also staging up my love life so that I can't even see it as a normal everyday relationship to be able to take my value, my heart's value to that woman because it's fake. It's faked. It's not real. There's no love there. And as soon as I feel that, even if I had wanted to open up a box, get on my knee, and ask her to marry me, there wouldn't be that. There could never be that. And I guess I would rather die than have something fake. Because my intention inside of a love life is to, when we die, we go to heaven together. That's my intention. I believe that's wholeheartedly what Jesus was trying to teach us. So this stuff just hurts because not only is it taking away your love life, it's purposefully faking your love life. I deserved to have either people that truly loved me, and if they didn't love me, leave me alone like normal people would do, not harass me, not stalk me, not create these proxy made warfare campaigns against me, not hack me, not insert malware into my phones or my computers so that they can hack me and steal away evidence, steal away from my own time that I've spent on my own journaling or my online personification multiple times now. But it's like, I've heard even a coworker tell me, don't give up, start a new one. Okay, you're right. You're right. Let's start a new one. And that new one gets hacked as well. It just really leaves you feeling super hard pressed because not only are they stalking you, they're harassing you, they're hacking you, they're planning for a whole scheme in order to control your life and love life by proxy, but they're making it as in a way that they can save their own faces from their crimes that they're doing. And not only for themselves, but for their own partners or their own kids or their own communities in order to see their own cycles of abuse here on repeat. And then the hugest part that hurts is that it was driven in ways that people just can't even think to reason. They I mean, maybe they can. I don't know, but it's family, it's friends, it's community, it's the people that shared availability with people that were close to my dad. People that showed availability of being close to those who would partner in that way against anybody. But as far as that's concerned, it's like, oh, my dad grooming his own his own sons to murder the youngest so that they can't. I mean, it's just super messed up. But so that they can't allow for me to not only reason to see to reason type of thing, being poisoned up and being an unwitting person into this warfare against me, but it's just doing nothing for me at all. Nothing. Nothing good anyway. So then people can assume that it's just the smoking and whatnot that is making my heart feel the way it is. And it's just not true, G. I wouldn't, if I had been able to work my Heartworks plan, there's no way I would be in this position at all. I probably wouldn't be smoking today. I've been working really hard at it, and I have good days and bad days, and when I have those good, better days, and I realize if I could just go cold turkey on on my own motion, and be able to get out there and actually do things differently. But that's exactly why it was staged up with poison in the worst ways, is to stop me from having the availability of my mind to say I'm gonna wake up, I'm going to do things differently from the beginning of the day to get away from smoking, rollerblade, run, exercise, work hard, do push ups, train, and train my mind because because the poison not only hurts your physical body inside your organs and your heart especially, but it leaves you with no oxygen down to the cellular level. You can't think straight. So what do you end up doing? Unwittingly, even, you do this. And not just for the addiction itself now. Not just for the addiction itself, but because you can't even you can't even think to yourself for long enough that you are trying to quit smoking. You see? I don't know if you understand that, but that's what arsenic does to you. It makes you not even think about your own self, your own self's motion, or your motives in life with what you want anymore. And not only that, with your whole love life being gamed up, you just feel so freaking low that it's like there's no part of my life that's organically me now. That's how it feels. And that's how it actually is. And real reality, not just in my mind. As though they want to make it. It's all in his head and he just had a bad dream and la da da. No, I didn't wake up every day for the last 43 years and in a bad dream. It's not the way it was. Or from a bad dream. I was waking up to the reality of my reality being a complete gamed up nightmare based on what these people had rather wanted for me. So anyway, that's why I'm out here doing this heart work stuff, because what I did was ultimately realize that when the times that I did have little bits of pieces of my life where I could come back into my own origination, I realized that there was many parts of my character that weren't me. That was not the origination of Christ through me. That was not the origination of what my body was designed for. And it's even that I have the right to fight for my own soul within Christ. And so they don't want you to be able to fight for your own soul. They don't want you to be able to fight in that way at all, or suggest that the Lord is in control when you give it to the Lord and you deny your flesh and give it to the Lord. So that's what I was working on when I did come into myself, and I did realize that there was many other times that I had little snippets of that reality. And then that's kind of what the curse is. That's what being cursed means, is that there's others out here who have a very demonic, eccentric ability to want to control somebody else's life, but they just don't want to leave you alone. They can't just like let you go and let you do your own thing. You know what I mean? They need to control your life so that you're not even able to see you for who you would be. You see? So, anyway, I'm going to let this one be done here. I got other things to work on, but it's the fact that this is why I'm doing Heartworks. This is why I wanted to do the Heartworks lyrical mission. This is why I'm not able to write my own songs like I really wanted to. Be able to like save up everything to get a bass and guitar and learn guitar and bass and get the microphone and get the whole studio, for myself, and have a not only a 9.1 Dolby Digital surround sound. I wanted to have surround sound all over my home and have my whole home basically be a studio, to where like if it was one room to the next, it would be soundproofed to be able to work on one part, or work on just guitaring or just the lyrics or just the drums. And I also wanted people in my life that cared enough to have my truest value come out in song and in music, because these things can change their own world. But see, that's what was sent to me like as a feeling in my belly after hardcore prayers, is to suggest these people are denying their own blessings because they just simply don't want them to come from you, and they don't like you. They hate your guts. They want you dead. They hate that you're breathing. So anyway, if there's anybody that can help me, like by spreading around my campaigns and getting it into the hands of someone that cares, because my network has been so gamed up, it would mean a whole lot to me. Because honestly, within a real live mission, I would like to run these people cat raggedy with what they've done to me, not be run further into the ground. And I believe wholeheartedly that I have more than enough reason to suggest to that. They don't deserve anything from me anymore. And the only thing that they'd be wanting to do is take away my life. Not even being able to have an adulting conversation for the longest time. So it's not like it's not like I'm just coming out here to make other people look bad. I'm telling my story because there was umpteen times that I'm like sitting there asking them how they're wanting to purport to be within my life, how they're wanting to move because of what's happened to us as kids and this, that, and the other. And then they're doing these things to me, and I'm going into counseling, and then even the counselor is like, well, you need family counseling, and you have every right to know how these people are going to be acting with you, and especially if they're trying to hurt you. And then you have every right to get away from them. But how do you get away from people that are hacking you? And they don't care about you. They don't want you breathing. But, they're going to suggest to other people that they love you. But what they're doing is not loving. You see, what they're doing is hurting you in every facet of your origination of yourself altogether. So that's the main reason why I started doing heart work. Because not only did I want to get to the victims of these type of crimes to help them, mainly, but I also want to be able to set the fire to the third, fourth, and fifth bars where these people are just, they need help. If they're going to make it to heaven, they have to repent of their sins. If we can't enjoy this world as beautiful as it is together, and go out and take pictures together and actually care about each other, like me and my friend of 28 years, you have to legitimately kill me, G, You have to legitimately work to kill me, man? That's some messed up shit, G. That's some truly messed up shit, G. So it's like I just hope that they repent of their sins. And I don't want anything to do with them now because I don't trust them. I mean, it'd have to be some pretty amazing thing that they would put together for me to be able to actually have real tears of real people to suggest that they actually care about me for me to ever want them back in my life ever again. But and even that sentiment, I would just feel really scared. I would feel super scared that they would just be trying to get on board onto my better sides just so that they could continue poisoning me up again. It's been way too long. I don't want anything to do with them, and I reserve the right to feel a little bit scared of who they are, scared of what they are capable of, scared of how they could even do it to me in the first place. So I don't want anything to do with them. I want to go on my own and do my own thing, even if it's for 7 days left of my life or another 20 years. I'm fighting, but when I can't even get that into a decent medical community, I know that if medical assistants were to be able to pay for holistic care and Ayurvedic medication, which is the herbs of the earth, and if I could get it into like not allopathy, but um, what's the other one there? Apothecary, and utilizing not only the herbs but the fruits and vegetables and teas and tinctures, that I feel that I could get my life back and I could get the high toxic levels of metals out of my body to where I don't have to feel this pain in my heart anymore. It's been 2 years, over 2 years. And it's just so bad sometimes where I'm like, am I just gonna flop to the ground and die and have, and is that pumping of my blood literally just gonna be allowed to happen to these people to where like I literally got no part of my own life? So sad. To me, it's so sad because it makes me feel like I'm just gonna go unconscious, flop to the ground, and die, and it's gonna be a pool of my own blood coming out of my head. Because that's what arsenic does. It shuts down your organs and stuff like that. And if you aren't able to get holistics to take the metals out of your body through your skin or through your, urine and things like that, you literally flop to the that's what happens in a long-standing arsenic poisoned person. And so what I do personally and what I'm asking you guys to do is pray for me. I put my hand on my heart and I say, Lord, I give all of what's in here to you and through my body, and to take this pain out of me, because I just think it's so super unfair. And that's it's my testimony. It's not me praying openly. It's my testimony. And if my testimony concerning a crime has to deal with this arsenic poisoning and my actual going to the Lord, then I'm not gonna hide that fact that I go to the Lord about these things. Because it's my testimony. I have the right to put that out here. And then in 86 directions and 86 different online platforms have a key code. Literally have like the longest password of uppercase and lowercase letters and numbers, and that's because these people are trying to steal away my account. Even when I do die, they want to come up in here and find the information that I'm trying to get myself to remember, so that I can burn away anything of that before I do die, and that they can't take my accounts down. Because fuck them for doing what they've done to me, man. So anyway, if you're with me I really appreciate your help, and I really appreciate you looking at more of my work and more of my efforts here concerning my life being seriously staged up in this fashion through being a targeted individual and on levels of it coming from my own father and these people that were and could have been, loving instead of what they actually did. So, anyway, thank you for being here, and it means a whole lot to me. I love you guys a whole lot, and and I'm trying to take care of myself the best I know how. So I hope that you all are taking care of yourselves as well. God bless you and God's peace.